Hi, I'm Sue from Cheap Wedding Solutions, and I'm here today to help you plan your dream wedding without it costing you a fortune. Now, for the past 17 years, I've been, which sounds like a ridiculous amount of time, I've been helping brides plan their weddings. I started off with a degree in hospitality management, and I've worked as an event planner around Europe for lots of big companies and also for private individuals as well. Plus, I've also been a wedding planner too. Now, I've had Cheap Wedding Solutions. I started writing that in 2007, and since then I've had thousands of brides who have managed to plan their wedding at a much lesser cost than most people. So what I wanted to share with you today was my top 5 tips on how to get started to plan your cheap wedding. But remember, it's going to be a cheap wedding that's going to look gorgeous. So the first thing that you need to do is to get organised. And to do that, you could go to my site, which I'll put a link in below, and you could download the cheap wedding planning checklist, or you could also sign up to my 7-week free planning course, which every week you'll get an instalment for what you need to do that week, and helps you kind of get structured on what you want to do and be really organised with your wedding plans. So that's a good way to get started. Work out what you can afford. That's really, really important. Don't set your budget based on what you want. You need to be setting your budget on what you can actually afford. When you've done that, you'll then be able to work out what you can have for your wedding. So if you've got a budget for $500, that's okay, because you can still get married for $500. Don't think that you have to have tens of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of pounds to get married. It's not that expensive. You've just got to be really, really clever with where you spend your money. So we also need to prioritise as well. So once you've worked out your budget, you then need to look at working out what is really, really important to you. If the most gorgeous film star style dress is important, then put that in as like a high up on the list. If you want to get married in a particular venue, then again that needs to be high up on your list. If, however, it's more important, it's other things like you want stunning flowers, or you want a particular band to play at your wedding reception, then again that's all sort of like your priorities. Or it might be that you want everybody there. You might want all of your family, all of your friends, 300 people. So again, it's what you want for your wedding. Once you've prioritised, you know your budget, you've got your plan. One really, really big way to save money on your wedding is to pick an unusual date. Now, that could be sort of a Friday or a Thursday during the week. Or alternatively, you could go slightly out of wedding season. Now, wedding season has got so much bigger in a year. It used to be that you could get married in the winter, and that would be much cheaper. But unfortunately, for brides that are looking for a bit of a bargain, that's not going to be so much the case anymore. Weddings in the winter are almost coming up to being as expensive as ones in the summer. But there is a little bit of time, sort of between January and March, that you could save big money on having your wedding. However, you must avoid Valentine's weekend, because that is just going to be a fortune, not only on your venue, but it will also cost you a fortune on your flowers too. So have a good shop around, have a look at all of the venues in your local area, and really sort of get an idea of how much it's all going to cost you. Talking about how much it's all going to cost you, it's a really good idea to spend wisely. So find out what you can borrow, as in not money, but as in items, actual physical items that you could borrow for your wedding. So could you borrow maybe the dress from maybe an auntie, or is there a vintage gown that's that your gran wore? There's so many sort of different ways that you could possibly borrow your wedding dress. Or you could maybe borrow vases, or you could borrow even the venue. Do you have a friend or a family member that has the most stunning garden? If they do, then you can maybe see if they'd be happy to have your wedding there. Once you've sort of had a look at what you could borrow, you need to also maybe have a look at different sort of places like eBay, where you could actually sort of buy things secondhand, because there's not really that much wear you're going to get out of a wedding item. So if somebody has bought 12 vases for their wedding reception, or 12 bowls for their centerpieces, then they're not going to actually cost sort of like, they're not going to use them, they're not going to be worn out, they're going to still look as stunning after 3 hours on a table when they first opened up the box as they will for you. So it's a really, really good way is to save money, is to buy things that are already pre-loved, so that you can really get the most out of your budget too. Also, have a look at discount stores. Dollar Tree, Costco, even Walmart, they all have wedding items. So these are all items that you could actually use for your wedding. And you will be really, really surprised what you can find. And you could maybe even like sort of look at all sorts of decorations from these areas, or you could also have a look at online discount stores, and really sort of get a full idea. If you have a look on my site, there's lots of different ideas on ways that you can save money and places that you can buy cheaper items that still look as good. I'm always here to help. Come and say hello on my Facebook page, or also sort of like pop over to my website and drop me an email, or and ask a question, and hopefully I'll be able to help you. So until I speak to you soon, take care, happy wedding planning, and hope everything goes really well. Thanks very much. Bye.